Hey everybody, welcome back to my channel. Thank you so much for being here today. Today's video, I am gonna be doing a wedding guest makeup tutorial. So I am actually going to a wedding this weekend. This is not the day that I'm going to the wedding. I don't even know exactly what look I'm gonna do for the wedding, but it gave me the idea to do this tutorial, and I think I'll probably wear something pretty similar to this. Definitely probably the same base, but maybe the eye's a little bit different. But it gave me the idea that, hey, it's wedding season. A lot of us are gonna be attending a lot of weddings here, like in the next several weekends of the fall of the next few months. Summertime weddings, it's, you know, it's hot outside. You need something that's gonna look really good, that's gonna last really well. You know, you wanna look good. You don't wanna upstand the bride, but you wanna look good, and you don't want to sweat it off, because I don't know about y'all wherever you're at, but down here in Georgia, summertime weddings, it's real hot outside, and I will be melting. For sure. Before we get into it, make sure that you subscribe to my channel if you haven't done that yet. That would be awesome if you did. Also, definitely check me out on social media. My handle will be popping up right here below me, so you can check me out on the medias. And with all that said, let's go ahead and hop into this tutorial. To start out, I'm gonna go ahead and put some primer on my face. I'm gonna be using my Winky Luxe whipped cream primer. This is really great for minimizing pores, really smoothing out your skin, giving you a nice flawless look. I'm actually getting pretty low in there, so I'm gonna have to dig in there with my finger first and then work it into my little puff. I don't know if I've ever talked about this. I probably haven't. I use these little puffs for specifically for this kind of primer and also for powder. But I just like doing this because I feel like it really presses it into the skin in a way that my fingers kind of get oily and all that kind of stuff. I just feel like it really presses it in and adds to the smoothing effect. I don't know exactly why, but I've really enjoyed the effect it's given me, and I just don't think it's quite the same if I do it with just my fingers. And I'm sure it's not that much different, really. Also, after I do this, I'm gonna go into my eyes, and I wanted to go ahead and prime my face to let this have its minute to really sink into the skin, to just kind of rest, to not just immediately go and put foundation over top of it. It gives it kind of a chance to set down in a way, sink in, so that I don't just immediately move it around. So it really will kind of set down and stay in place once we are ready to put foundation on top of it. And I'm gonna go ahead and do couple spritzes of my setting spray. This is the Porefessional setting spray from Benefit. And with setting sprays like this that are specifically for long lasting, it does actually make a difference to put it underneath your makeup. I just find that it wears better because it has something to stick down to. It's like another layer of a primer, but kind of like a longevity primer. So I'm just priming my eyes with my Urban Decay Primer Potion. I know everyone is surprised. Okay, now for the eyes, I am gonna be doing something like a warm, smoky, eye. So I'm gonna be using my Supreme Nudes palette from Artist Couture. This is a newish palette to me, and it's something that I actually looked at for a long time, but I was like, you know, is it just gonna be another neutral palette? Because I have so many of them already that I love, but really, I don't know what it is about this palette. I think it's the fact that it has these greens, it has the mustard tones, it has cool tones and warm tones. It's just really, really beautiful, and I've been really enjoying it. I just think it's really something special as far as a neutral palette, if you are a neutral lover kind of person like me. But I'm probably gonna be going in with these two bronzy shades most likely on my lid, because for me, just a bronzy eye look in the summer is really what makes my eyes pop, makes me feel really like summery, tan, glam. That's like the epitome of a summer glam for me, is bronze. So, and I know that's probably not surprising to anyone. So that's my game plan for this here today. Also, this palette is excellent because it has like 500 transition shades. That's an exaggeration, it doesn't have 500, but like all of these shades in here, there's a transition shade for literally everyone. Even like there's literally this pale, pale, pale cream, and then there's slightly deeper, slightly warmer, slightly deeper. I mean, there's so many options here for literally anyone, and great deepening shades over here, whether you want to go warmer or cooler. It's just really well thought out. So I'm just gonna initially dip in here and here, which is exposed and stripped, dipping back and forth just to lay a very light initial base layer of powder shadow so that it blends on top a lot easier. It gives me a nicer, softer gradient. Once I've got that down, I'm gonna go into stripped, which is just slightly deeper. I just dropped that a little bit. Just slightly deeper than my skin. So it's gonna start to add a little something in my crease, as you can see. Oh, I meant to go ahead and curl my lashes. I'm gonna do that real quick. I like to curl my eyelashes before I get my all of my eyeshadow on, because I really get in there with my eyelash curler and I don't want it to like lift off any of my lid shade. Well, there's been a tragedy. I accidentally curled my eyelid a little bit. So I'm gonna need a minute to regroup. I didn't clamp down hard, but you know, just a little bit. So now my eyes are watering and my nose is also leaking. BRB. Okay, I've mostly recovered there. Just gonna continue to blend. So now I'm gonna go a step mustardy and go into Nudist, which is this one up here in the corner. It's also a nice transition, a little bit deeper than stripped, and also more mustard yellow kind of toned, because we're going warm here today. And these shadows just blend really, really easily. I find this is a really easy palette to work with. It's very, very like beginner friendly. You don't need to be like some kind of makeup artist to use this palette. It's very, very easy to understand and to just utilize in so many ways. Now I'm gonna go into this shade right here, which is a really nice mustard brown called Eccentric, right there. And I'm gonna start working that into my crease, keeping it a little lower. Okay, and I'm gonna take a smaller crease brush and dip into this shade Transcend, which might be my favorite shade in the whole palette. It's just a really nice brown transition, kind of like a medium tone blending shade. And I'm keeping this pretty low towards my lash line and the outer corner. And I slowly take it up towards my lower part of my crease. I don't take it up too high, and I only do so when I've worked most of the pigment off of my brush. Okay, now I'm gonna take a really small, dense blending brush and dip into this shade right here, which is called Aesthetic. Really deep brown, chocolatey brown here. And I'm gonna work that on the lower lash line, against the lash line, to really add the smokiness to this look. Now I'm gonna do an initial shade of this color right here called Bronzana, which is a really neutral bronze. I'm just gonna do that with my finger. Okay, so that's just the initial layer there. Now we're gonna move to the brushes. I'm gonna use a flat brush, which is somewhere. I'm gonna spray it with a setting spray. And we're gonna apply that. Yeah, okay. So now I'm gonna go in with this shade Opulence right there on my brush, which is even more of like an intense metallic rather than just kind of like their regular shimmer formula. This is definitely the most intense shade in the palette. I'm just gonna run this on the center. See that? Like a little spotlight. See what that does? So this is gonna draw attention to the very center, not only the very center of my eyelid, but it also, the point of it is to bring that middle part of your eyelid forward to make your eyes look a little bit more round, and in turn makes them just look bigger. And it draws attention to your iris, to the color of your eyes. That's the eyes. Now, we're gonna start on some mascara because y'all know I'm gonna be building this up. I'm gonna be opening my brand new tube of my Pat McGrath Fetish Eyes Mascara. Oh yeah. And I don't wear lashes to weddings. I don't wear fake lashes to weddings. You can if you feel the need to. I usually don't. There is Uno Layer let's move into the brows. I'm gonna throw a little tinted brow gel in them. I'm gonna use my Hourglass tinted brow gel in the shade Soft Brunette. Alrighty, there's some tinted brow gel in. I'm gonna let that set in. Well, I'll just go ahead and fill them in, honestly. I'm gonna be using my Benefit Precisely My Brow Pencil in the shade 3 and 3.5. So what I'm gonna do is use the shade 3 in the front of my brows towards about the middle-ish of the arch. And then I'll go in with shade 3.5 for my tail, because my tail is definitely much lighter and I'd like it to be a little bit stronger. Oof, these are some strong brows today, but that's just kind of what we're going for. Definitely going for a more full glam moment, which for me usually means fuller brows most of the time. And this is weird because this is not what I've been doing lately, so it's kind of weird to look at, honestly. For foundation, I'm mainly gonna be going in with my IT Cosmetics Illuminating CC Cream, but it is a little light for me right now. So I'm gonna mix in just like a little bit of a darker one. I'm just kind of mixing here, but I mainly wanted to use the IT Cosmetics because it is a really nice coverage level and it lasts super well on the skin. It's just really, really beautiful. So I'm gonna mix those foundations on my little palette. And initially, I'm gonna do what I usually do. Go in with a brush to give myself a nice initial layer to spread it. I forgot how familiar the scent of the IT Cosmetics CC Cream is to me. Not the Illuminating one, because that one wasn't out yet, but the original CC Cream used to be my everyday. And I obviously didn't wear it super full coverage. I just kind of blended out a nice sheer layer. But, and probably wore it like a medium coverage, but the smell is so familiar to me. I mean, I've gone through maybe 5 tubes of this foundation. It's just an all-timer for me. Now that I've got a nice layer going, I'm gonna blend that in with my sponge. And we're probably at a nice light medium coverage here. For an everyday basis, this is just like a beautiful base that I love to wear. And so normally I would probably stop here, but for an event, such as a wedding, I will build it up a bit more. Plus, I've had some pretty serious breakouts in the last week from some lovely hormones, so I will be building it up to cover up those as well. Isn't that great? Shout out to all my ladies. Y'all know how it be. Oh yeah, wow, I always forget how beautiful this foundation is. I really need to wear it more. I get so occupied with my skin tints in the summer, and I forget that I can just shear this out a little bit and wear it all the time again. Because it just looks so, it looks like moisturized skin. It just looks like moisturized skin. That's good. Happy with that. Oof, so happy with that. That's so pretty. For concealer, I'm gonna use my Pat McGrath concealer. It's the only concealer she has, but this is the Skinfetish Sublime Perfection Concealer. I use the shade L6. It's probably a smidgen light for me right now, but it is what it is. No, it'll be okay. But I picked this up during the recent Sephora sale. I had never tried it before, and it's been out for a while, but I've just, yeah, it is a little light, but that's okay. I had been hesitant because I was afraid that it would just be too matte. But gosh, you guys, it is so beautiful. It's really full coverage, so it's great obviously for events like this, which is why I'm wearing it really right now. But it's really, really nice and long wearing, and it just gives a really nice skin finish. I wouldn't say it's crazy matte. I think it's just a nice satin skin type of finish, and it wears just so beautifully. Has a really nice level of coverage. I've just been a really big fan of it. And I'm just gonna use it here on my chin, because I am gonna slightly use this to, since it is a little light, I'm gonna kind of go full glam and use it to add some highlights to my face. And by highlights, I don't mean like shimmer, but an actual highlight. So adding light to an area to bring it forward. Therefore, the other areas will be darker, which will create a shadow, which we will further with contour. But it's just gonna add some more dimension to my face. Really pretty. Wow, haven't gone this like full coverage in quite some time. Let's go into some bronzer. I'm gonna be using my Huda Beauty Tantour for my contour today, for my contour slash cream bronzing moment. This cream is just super long wearing. It's a really great contour shade as well. It's not super cool toned or super warm toned. It's very neutral in the middle. What really gets me with this is how well it wears and sets down, and it just does not move. And it looks so good. And also it does like dry down to a powder kind of finish. So it's not super creamy, but just the way it blends is just, it's perfect. This is the e.l.f. Airbrush stipple brush, and it's my favorite brush of all time. And I can say that with no hesitation because I'm positive that it is. And I'm pretty sure that they're getting rid of it, and it makes me upset because I found it at TJ Maxx. Therefore I picked up like 3 of them. I can't ever be without this brush. I can use it for foundation, for bronzer, for cream bronzer, from cream blush. It looks beautiful for all of those things. It's excellent. Is this too much? Probably. Do I care? No. Let's put some eyeshadow on my lower lash line, huh? What am I gonna do? Good question, Madison. Thanks, Madison. Are we losing it, Madison? Probably Madison. I'm gonna blend some of Nudist down there first to really smoke it down there. Now, let's go on with Eccentric. Same brush, just not taking it quite as low. I think we're gonna go to Transcend right there. Just gonna use all the colors, huh? I just keep going a step deeper and deciding how smoky I want to take my lower lash line. I think I'll take this brush, which is like a really flat pointed brush with Aesthetic, and I'm gonna take that right up against my lash line, so I have to be really still. Starting on the outer corner, wiggling it right around my lashes. Yeah, only took about halfway in. Yeah, I think that's how I want it. I'm gonna throw some mascara down there real quick. Perfect. Let me set my brows in real quick. This is the Nudestix Brow Boost and Set Gel. Back to bronze contour moment. I'm gonna contour my nose with the same Tantour, and right up underneath my lip. I feel like my contour is too low here. So what I'll do is I'll take the brush I use with my foundation and just very lightly brush up underneath it. I am gonna go over this with a powder bronzer. That's kind of my way of setting my face without using a setting powder, just because you guys know I'm not really into setting my whole face. So I'm gonna use this bronzer. This is the PYT Faux Sun Bronzer Duo. I picked this because it is a shimmery bronzer. So this half over here is shimmery. I wanted to add the glow kind of back over like a matte bronzer. I don't want it to set down matte so that it has the appearance of not being set, I guess. But this is very, very pigmented, so I'm just very, very lightly gonna go over this. Anyway, so that's kind of my version of setting my face there. And same for this situation, I'm gonna use a powder blush, but before that, we're gonna go in with some highlight. I'm gonna use my Tarte Shape Tape Glow Wand, just because I already have a nice subtle glow and I don't wanna make it too intense. And I'm gonna pop that a little bit into the inner corners and just all the places that I wanna add some light. Perfect. And this Shape Tape Glow Wand does come with like a sponge in the end. I mean, it's not attached in there at all. It literally just kind of sits in there. So I just take it out. I'm gonna use that to blend in the highlight. I actually meant to do this earlier before I did the powder bronzer. So ideally, I would have done this before the powder bronzer, and this would have been underneath and kind of a little bit more blended in. You see how you can see that pigment because this is like a skin tone shade almost, and it almost has like some coverage to it. So yeah, I actually meant to do that beforehand, but that's fine. I will fix it once it dries down. All I'll do is I'll go back in with the brush I used for my bronzer and just lightly stipple over top. And the same thing with the brush that I just used for the powder bronzer. Okay, that's good. I think I'm gonna not try, but I'm gonna just kind of do this technique that I learned from Jamie Genevieve, where she takes her bronzer and blends it in with her eyeshadow. So what I'm gonna do is take it on a big fluffy brush right here, and where my eyeshadow starts to end, I'm gonna just blend my bronzer very lightly and make a little connection there. Very subtle, but I kind of like it. Kind of just, I mean, it's what she says it does. It elongated my eye, pulled it out a little bit more. Anyway, blush. Speaking of Jamie Genevieve, I'm gonna be using my Vieve Sunset Blush in the shade Piazza on a large fluffy brush. Really gonna get in there. Oh yeah, get in there. And I'm gonna just dab it off on the back of my hand so we don't have too much product. I'm gonna tap it on my cheeks, just like that. Take it onto my forehead, just make everything really cohesive. Love that. That's all I'm gonna do for blush. I'm gonna go over my face with a setting spray real quick, fan it down, and lightly powder, which is important for an event, I'm sure, as you know. I'm gonna use my Charlotte Tilbury Airbrush Flawless Finish Powder. And I'm just gonna I think I'm not even gonna use my puff because I want it to be very, very light. Going with a very loose brush. Tap it off, really work it into the brush. I like to blend it into the mirror or the cap on whatever product it is. Just like that. So I really worked it in there and got off all the excess. Very lightly sweep it. I seriously am using the lightest hand. Oh, you know what? I completely missed my, dang it, my chin. You guys, I'm just really forgetful right now and I'm losing it, but it's fine. I'm gonna take my Tantour on my stipple brush and really go in on my jawline here. I am intentionally like kind of double chinning myself. Like there's me normally and then I'm kind of not fully, but I'm just double chinning myself a little bit to just see where those lines are that I wanna contour. So that's powder. I'm gonna go over one more time with setting spray because with long lasting setting spray, the layers are what really matters. Yep, that's gonna be the last layer. Really set in the powder, melt it all together. And finally, we're gonna do some lips. I'm gonna line my lips real quick. This is a Jaclyn lip liner that I've been trying out in the shade Hot Tea. Nice and dramatic. And I'm gonna go in, I think, yeah, I feel good about that, with this MAC Love Me liquid lip color that I've been trying out the last few weeks. This is the shade Feel Me, because it has a question mark at the end, so Feel Me, question mark. And this is not a drying liquid lipstick. It is a liquefied lipstick. It dries down, but not to like a matte finish. It's like a creamy lipstick. I like that. Alrighty, well, here we are with the finished look. It is a summertime glam, and it's really long wearing. It's very glowy. It's not too, well, it's pretty extra, let's be honest. And realistically, when I actually go to this wedding this weekend and all the other weddings I'm going to this summer, I will not have my hair in a ponytail, although I might for at least one of them because it would be cute to do like a really slicked ponytail. Not obviously with like a scrunchie, but with like a one that's good for like a nice high pony. I like that look. Very chic. But yeah, that's the look, you guys. This is definitely probably the base I'm gonna wear. I might change up the eye look a little bit, but honestly, I might just do this exact eye look because this palette is amazing and I love these colors so much. I feel like my best self in this look. I feel like, yeah, I'm here. I look cute. I'm at a wedding, but also, you know, we're here to have some fun. So this is gonna last me throughout the evening when I'm on the dance floor getting lit. Alrighty, well that's everything for me today, you guys. Let me know if you're going to some weddings this summer. How many are you going to? We can have a conversation about that in the comments below. Let me know if you enjoyed this look, if you enjoyed tutorials like this. I'm thinking of doing some others. Summertime tutorials, if you're into that. But if you're not, you know, also tell me so that I don't waste my time. So, all right, with that said, so I'll just see you guys in my next video. Bye.